Hello everybody, this is Dave from Trading Options World. Today I'm going to go over the John Carter TTM Squeeze indicator and how you can use it to catch explosive moves to the upside or downside. Right now we're looking at a weekly chart, and on the bottom here we have the TTM Squeeze. The originator was John Carter. And basically what the TTM Squeeze is showing you here is at the top part of my screen I've got the red Bollinger Bands, and then I have the purple Kelter channels. The Kelter channels are set to 1.5 times average true range, and the Bollinger Bands are set to a 2 times standard deviation. And whenever the Bollinger Bands compress down inside of the Kelter channels, it signals these red dots down here on the TTM Squeeze. That's what the squeeze is doing for you. And when the Bollinger Band starts to break out of the Kelter channel and the price action is moving in the upward direction, you'll get these light blue momentum bars above this zero line. And whenever you see where the momentum is starting to move to the downside, you'll see that the momentum bars are more bearish and they're red, and then they go into the yellow phase. And that's below the zero line, so that's more a bearish signal. That's a squeeze that broke out to the downside. Okay? So John Carter made this indicator so you don't have to draw the Bollinger Bands or the Kelter channels on your chart to see when the price is consolidating or in a squeeze. The indicator down here, TTM Squeeze indicator, does all that for you. So looking at this weekly chart, I like to start out on a weekly chart. The squeezes tend to have a lot more movement to the upside or the downside after the Bollinger Bands break out of the Kelter channels on a weekly chart. So right now I'm looking at a Microsoft chart, weekly chart, and as you can see, we've been in a squeeze since October of this year. And let's go back and look what happened last time we had a weekly squeeze. So last year, 2019, we were in a squeeze from September till November. And then the Bollinger Bands, as you can see, the stock price was compressing. It was doing a lot of consolidating. And when this Bollinger Band broke out of the Kelter channel to the upside, the stock price moved up with it. We had this explosive move all the way up to here into February of 2020. So let's go over to the daily chart and let's see what it looks like over there. So I drew these lines on here so we could track it down. Here we go. So if you look here on a daily chart, we started into a squeeze consolidation period on a daily chart back here in September of 2019. No, August of 2019 is where it actually started. And then it consolidated on a daily chart all the way up into mid-October of 2018. Then, as you can see, the momentum, which is light blue bars, started, they're on the top side of the zero line because the price action is actually moving in the upward direction. So as the price of stock is increasing, so are your blue momentum bars. Now if you look here, this line here was where I drew it on the weekly chart. We didn't have a trigger on the weekly chart until around mid-November. But the daily chart had already triggered a squeeze. So now that we have a squeeze on a daily chart and a weekly chart, that's even more powerful. So if you look here, this squeeze continued up to, like we said, around February of 2020 before we had a significant pullback. So this move was $150 up to about $190. So that was a 40-point move in 4 months. Pretty nice. So if we go over here and look on the daily chart right now, we started into a squeeze around the beginning of December. It looks like we started breaking out of this squeeze right before Christmas, around the 20th, 21st of December. If we go back to the weekly chart, you can see that we're still in the squeeze on the weekly chart. We're still on this compression and consolidating on the weekly chart, but we've already broke out on a daily chart. So right now we're just waiting for this squeeze to start its momentum to the upside. And this red Bollinger Band will break out of this purple Kelter channel. And hopefully we'll get a nice significant move out of this squeeze, since we're going to have a daily squeeze against a weekly squeeze. I hope you have a better understanding of how the TTM squeeze works and how you can use it to get in at the beginning of an explosive move. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get alerts to my new videos. Best wishes to you all, and I'll see you in my next video.